Submission of the enrollment application for the first year of master or doctoral studies with the recognition of foreign education. Here we will show you how you can start filling in the enrollment application for the first year of master or doctoral study programs at Slovene higher education institutions, having completed higher education outside Slovenia. In the first step, select the appropriate call for enrollment and type of application. First, select your country of citizenship. If you have citizenship in one of the countries of the European Union, you must answer yes or no to two questions. I am Slovenian without Slovenian citizenship, and I have a recognized international protection status, or I am an international protection applicant. If you have foreign citizenship in a non-European Union country, you must answer yes or no also to the question. I fulfill both conditions. I have permanent residence in Slovenia and I am a taxpayer of the Republic of Slovenia. Being a taxpayer in Slovenia shall also be considered if your parents or guardians are taxpayers in the Republic of Slovenia. Then answer yes or no if you already have a Slovenian personal registration number. You do not need the number to complete the application. Choose the level of study program according to the Bologna process reform. Then choose the type of higher education institution. If you choose public higher education institutions and concessions, only application deadlines and types of application to those institutions will open. This video shows the process of enrolling into master study programs at the Faculty of Natural Sciences and Engineering in Ljubljana, which is a member of the University of Ljubljana. Select the name of the call for enrollment, the application deadline and type of application, enrollment in first year of study. By clicking on the Continue button, you move forward to the next step. Enter your personal information as stated in your ID or passport. Name, surname, and email are transferred from registration. Check the data and correct it if necessary. Data on citizenship is transferred from the previous step of the application and cannot be changed. You are obliged to enter sex, date, and place of birth. The contact phone number is optional. It helps the higher education institution get in touch with you more quickly should they need additional data about your application. Under the permanent residence, enter your official address. After choosing the country, enter the street address and number, then the postal code and city. If your address for notices is the same as the permanent residence, click the button Same as Permanent Residence. If the address is not the same, enter a new one. In the end, choose the highest level of prior education completed. If you have not yet graduated, enter the class use SRV code for your higher education that you will obtain. By clicking on the Continue button, you move to the next step, Details of Achieved Higher Education Qualifications. First, select the country of achieved higher education. If the selected country is not Slovenia, but another foreign country, along with the enrollment application, a candidate applies for recognition for access to education at higher education institutions in the Republic of Slovenia. Higher education institutions are the competent bodies for the education recognition procedure. Write all data in original language or in Latin script. Do not translate. First, enter the name of the higher education institution. Then, select the field of education from the drop-down list. Enter the name of the study program, the academic title or degree obtained. Select the level and type of study program from the drop-down list. Enter the field of study or module. This data is optional. Select the method of study full-time or part-time. Enter the date of graduation. Place of actual carrying out of education. Select the official duration of education in years. Enter data of the scope of study program in credit points. If you have already obtained the certificate or diploma proving completed education, enter the name, date and place of issue of the certificate or diploma. If you have not yet graduated or obtained a certificate, in the call for enrollment, check the deadline for submission of the evidence of completed graduation. If you want to enter data for another higher education, you can do that by clicking on the button Add Qualification. By clicking on the Continue button, you move to the next step, Data on Desired Study. You can enter up to 2 choices in the enrollment application for the application deadline we selected in this video. The number of choices can also be only 1 or 3 depending on the application deadline you select at the beginning. Also, the values in the drop-down menus are displayed according to the selected call for enrollment and type of application that you marked in the first step of filling out the application. Fill in all fields, except the field of study module, where you can only select from the available values. If there are no options to choose from, leave the field empty. Finally, choose from the drop-down menu possible method of study, full-time or part-time. After entering your first choice for study by clicking the button Add Enrollment, you can enter the next desired study program. The order of study programs in the application is important, since the candidates will be ranked in the first study program for which they meet all the conditions. Therefore, choose only those study programs for which you qualify and which you actually wish to study. The order of already entered wishes can be changed by clicking Move Up or Move Down buttons. Click Continue to proceed. You are at the Fulfillment of Enrollment Conditions and Selection Criteria step. The screen display shows the conditions and selection criteria tied to the desired study program which a candidate is applying for. In the general conditions, mark yes or no regarding each condition. At least one condition must be answered yes, otherwise you cannot continue to fulfill the enrollment application. Candidates who have not yet graduated indicate yes to the condition that they will meet when they graduate and do not answer the question on fulfillment of selection criteria. The enrollment conditions and selection criteria are published in the call for enrollment. For further information, if a candidate fulfills the conditions, please contact the higher education institution where you want to apply. After clicking on the button Continue, you are at the Supplemental Document step. The screen display will depend on the data you have entered previously. Listed are all possible documents required for enrollment. Read the list and tick the ones that refer to your case. Some documents are already ticked automatically by the application on the basis of the data you have entered in previous steps. The list of documents required for the recognition procedure may vary depending on the country of origin of the document on education, so check the information with authorized persons at universities or higher education institutions. Mandatory documents for recognition of foreign education for enrollment in master or doctoral studies are original or the duplicate of the final certificate representing general requirement for access to the higher education program cycle in the country of issue that has to be legalized, photocopy of the original certificate, certified translation of the certificate in the Slovenian language. Please check at the relevant university or higher education institution if this document is required. Annual report cards, transcripts, a diploma supplement, or some other evidence on the contents and duration of education. Certified Slovene translation of those certificates. Please check at the relevant university or higher education institution if this document is required. Short chronological description of the entire education. The box description displays an additional explanation of what the attachment is. Once you check all attachments, click Continue. A warning appears. Carefully read it and confirm it by clicking on the button OK. Then the final step of the enrollment application will open. Review and submission of the application. Review the data if the data are not okay, and if you want to change them, click on the back button to return to the previous steps of the enrollment application. If the data are correct, proceed with the electronic submission of the application. Click on the Submit button. A warning appears. Are you certain you wish to submit the application? After submission, editing of the application is no longer possible. Clicking on Yes electronically sends the application forward. Do not interrupt the procedure. The last step opens. Print application form. It is mandatory to print the application form, sign it, and send it together with all the supplemental documents by registered post to the address of the designated higher education institution or service, which is displayed in the printed form at the top left corner. Upon successful electronic submission of the application, an electronic confirmation message with the enrollment application will be sent to your email address. Enrollment applications sent electronically cannot be changed. As long as the application deadline is open, you can delete it and fill in another application form from the beginning. Log out of the enrollment application. If you want to fill in another enrollment application for study, choose Continue to registration with username and password. Enter your username and password. You will see your submitted enrollment application, and the status of your application must not be not completed. In our case, it is sent electronically, which is okay. By clicking the Add button, you can fill in another application for study.